The 8?
Yeah,
Well, check
when
it.
they're linked at 8 places.
Would you mind if I keep my cigar in my mouth?
No.
Well, you want to link them. In other words, you want to bring one ring the full length of the chain. You see, you do that by a simple series of moves like that. Now you can also put it on very slowly, like that.
It's beautiful. Do you find going slowly down the
Well,
chain?
it depends. That's another business.
Yeah. Good. Let's try it here.
Trial and error is the best way. I mean, I'll do the best. I mean, work it out, and then
Why did you...
don't make any superfluous moves. Try to avoid superfluous moves. Take them out. And whenever you do anything, the more you can take out, and you end up with something beautiful. The great Leonardo da Vinci said that details make for perfection, but perfection is no detail.
Hey! So a little while ago, I was working on just some vanishes with small objects in the palm of the hand, and I came across these great little wooden mushrooms. Yeah, wooden mushrooms. And as I was playing with them, for some weird reason, they reminded me of a magician I grew up with, Doug Henning. He's sort of a post-60s, early 70s, hippie movement kind of era magician that sort of burst on the scene on TV, and sort of was really instrumental in helping me kick off my interest in magic. So I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I did a dedication video to Doug? And that's precisely what I decided to do. So let's have some fun. I got some great tricks and some great clips. Stick around. So, interesting tidbit before I forget, my father actually met Doug Henning once. I was on a talk show here in Canada. I believe it was a morning talk show. Said he was a real nice guy. He was showing everybody coins and card tricks backstage. And he also saw that Doug had a little locking notch installed in the floor of the stage, which he then locked his cane, his walking cane, into, and then proceeded to perform the broom suspension trick. If you've seen that before, if not, look it up. And he always believed that the trick was that Doug was very, very strong, like a gymnast, and he was able to lock the walking cane into the stage, and with his muscles lift himself up so that his legs were out parallel. And I never told him different. Anyway, he said Doug was a great guy and really, really special kind of character. Another interesting fact is I actually performed my own version of this on my dining room table years ago for my son's 6th or 7th birthday, Dalmatian and all.
And you can do some more magic later on in the show. Come on, fellas. Yeah.
So yeah, Doug Henning was pretty much the first magician that I can remember clearly. I would have probably been about 7 years old, I think, and he had a magic special, and I remembered two things very clearly. One, him walking through a wall which we know is a old, I believe, Houdini trick, or maybe Robert Houdin, but walking through a wall, and he did it on TV, and also on his special, he did the Nate Leipzig cigarette paper tear, which just blew my mind. Have a look at it here.
The difficult must become habit, the habit easy, and the easy beautiful. And then it really looks like magic. But first you have to practice your exercises. And I'd like to show you a few exercises that I used to do when I was younger and still do, as a matter of fact. Last year, I did one of the largest illusions in magic. I made a live elephant vanish. And I can't get any larger than that, so this year I decided to do the smallest illusion in magic. An illusion with a little tiny cigarette paper. Watch closely.
So yeah, that close-up stuff with the cigarette tear, that's what sort of captivated me. I mean, I love the big stage illusions, but that being able to do an illusion up close with small things just seemed to really grab my mind when I was young. And my father, who was always concerned about me not being that interested in reading books, he was a book collector, a rare book collector, and my mom and my sister were avid readers, but I wasn't at all. I was sort of more of a hands-on guy. He used the opportunity and got me the Amateur Magician's Handbook and put it in my stocking that year. So it sort of served a dual purpose, letting me know if I hadn't caught on yet that there was no Santa Claus, because I believe I was still acting like there was, because I still loved getting toys. It was the one time a year you could get them. And it got me reading. And he knew good books because he was a good book collector, so he bought me a really good one. And I just lived out of this book for years, with cards and coins and ropes and whatever. This is what really did it. And I was about 7 years old.
Now for some very wonderful, very close-up magic. know, one of the most magical things that we encounter in our everyday life is a mirror. The reflections that we see in a mirror look real, but they're actually a perfect illusion. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could take the reflections in the mirror and make them real? Well, let's try with this 50-cent piece. The first thing I do, Wendy, is I throw the 50-cent piece right under the glass, like that. Then I try to catch the reflection of the coin in the mirror. Ah, I think I've got it. Now for the magic. The 50-cent piece is under the glass where I can't possibly touch it. I'm going to try to make the 50-cent piece an illusion. Watch. Now! And we have a reflection trapped in the mirror. I'm going to try to make that real. Look. Now watch the reflection of the 50-cent piece slowly appear in the mirror. Now watch as the reflection becomes real. Voila. Now, we have two heads-up 50-cent pieces. Watch what happens if I turn over one of the coins. The reflection naturally turns over, and so does the other coin. Now, watch two coins slowly melt into one. Just one coin. Again, the reflection will become real. Thank you. Now, if you're looking, you see one coin, right? There are two coins, three coins. Now you see four coins. Look, the illusion has again become a perfect reality.
So, like I said, I was working with the mushroom there, which I don't really have down yet. Although I have a sort of a dedication to Doug and John Cornelius at the end of this video, using the mushroom. You might want to check out. So stick with me to the end. Like and subscribe. But I also found something a little while ago from Tenyo. And it wasn't really actually invented by Doug Henning. I believe the instructions were written by Jim Steinmeier, and it's this Tenyo magic thing. And basically what it is a wall. So you have a clear screen going through, and you have a wall to do the passing through the wall illusion. And I thought, man, I gotta have that. That is so freaking cool, because it addressed the whole issue of my loving the close-up magic, which was like a stage illusion. So this sort of puts them together. And I've been lucky enough to know someone for many years now, about a decade, who worked with our local Canadian TV company, CBC, for his entire life. And he was alive during the Doug Henning era, so I thought it'd be great to show him this trick. Let's check it out. Okay, Rod, as you know from our dress rehearsal,
Yes?
you've been invited to represent the audience because you are era specific. This little trick is based on something a famous former magician, Doug Henning, who's also a Canadian like yourself and I, performed on TV back in the early 70s, back when you were producing Four for the Road on CBC. On CBC. So in the heyday of TV, Rod was producing a infamous show, Four for the Road. Well, I don't know if we should call it infamous, but it was your favorite of shows that you had produced.
One of them, yes, for sure.
While Doug Henning was hitting the TV scene. And one thing I remember from my youth, which sort of sparked me into magic, was when Doug Henning did a very famous trick, which was big in the theaters way back when, where they would build a wall out of bricks and the magician would pass through. Doug Henning did it on TV and it was spectacular. So we're going to recreate a mini version of it today, with an era-specific TV personality, Rod Holmes. This is a little Tenyo trick, as I was telling you. This is produced by a Japanese company, and it was sort of dedicated at one point to Doug Henning because he had done this trick on TV. And this was for kids to do. This was for little guys like I was able to do as a little kid. I was able to sort of reproduce what Doug was doing. Okay. So we're going to show it to the audience today. You pick a card, and we're going to use that as our magician today to pass through the wall. What did you get? You got the 3 of diamonds. So as you know, the trick is we're going to turn the 3 of diamonds into Doug Henning. Right? Just like that. That's pretty good, right? So that's not the trick though. That's Doug Henning. You hold on to him. So earlier you were examining the wall, right? Now it's kind of hard to see at home, but that's solid, right?
It is indeed.
There's no mirrors or trapdoors there. That's the real thing. That goes right inside the frame like that. And there's no funny business in the frame. That's a solid frame. You saw it. This is just a little divider that we put in between. Whoops, I dropped the piece on the floor here. Hold on a second. I'm not switching it, Rod. Hold on, I'm not switching it. It's still the same piece. Verify that I didn't switch it. It was good you were here. No, that's the same piece it's solid. Oh, geez, it was good you were here, eh? Okay, so we put that in place. Now, I'm going to leave that down here. We're going to use that in a bit. But for this to be a true stage show, we need a little bit of special effects. So let's get a little bit of smoke going, right? And also on TV, you know, we'd want a little bit of fire. Whoa! Okay, now it's like a real stage show. Now it's like the real thing. Okay, hold on before we get the fire alarm going off.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so the wall is in place. And all Doug has to do is somehow, mysteriously, pass through the wall. And that really looks like he's passing into the wall, doesn't it?
For sure. Yeah.
And you can see from the back, it actually looks like he's coming out the other side.
It does indeed.
In fact, it looks like he's passing back and forth quite easily.
Yes.
Doesn't it?
Yes, it is.
Let's show it to the camera. And if I pull it this way, it comes right out the other side, yet the glass remains intact the whole time. And there's no funny business other than that. Would you verify that one more time for the TV audience?
Yeah, it's solid for sure.
An amazing illusion all around.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rod. That was wonderful. Ta-da! Okay, I think that went good. Okay, so we're back. Hope you liked that. Let's look at a couple of more clips. Let's look at a clip of Doug actually doing the walking through the wall effect. And
Doug, Henning, go ahead. Doug is going to walk through your wall.
Nobody is going to walk through this wall I just built.
Mr. Jensen, I know you're sure I'm not going to walk through your wall, but we want to make sure the audience is sure too. So are you absolutely certain that this wall that you built is absolutely solid?
Yes.
You are, good.
Absolutely
And I want
solid.
you to answer a few more questions. First, were you given any special instructions on how to build the wall by me or any member of my staff?
No, I was just told to build a brick wall of these dimensions using acceptable construction techniques.
And did you do that?
Yes, sir, I did exactly that.
Good.
All right.
So if it turns out I am able to walk through your 8.5-inch thick brick wall, would you be prepared to state that it was not because of anything special you did to the wall? It's a real solid factory wall.
Yes, I would.
Great. Now, I'd also like you and Glenn to examine the wall one more time and make absolutely certain that it's completely solid. This is the wall. You can hear it. It's 10 feet high, 10 feet wide, and it's 8.5 inches thick, and it actually weighs 7,000 pounds. We had to have a truck move it in here on stage. The bricks are very solid, and they're filled in with cement mortar. There's not even a crack large enough for an ant to go through. Is this the same wall that you just finished building, Mr.
Yes.
Jensen? It is, good. And you've examined it completely, and there's been no changes whatsoever. It's exactly as you built it.
Correct. It's just as sturdy as ever.
Good. Now, all this is very important, and I thank you very much for coming over
Thank you, Guy.
and telling us about your wall. Glenn, are you satisfied that this is solid brick wall?
Okay, are you going to go through the wall? right here?
Yeah, I'm going to go through right about right there.
Well, that's solid enough.
Terrific.
check.
Now,
Okay. I'll tell you what. I don't mean to be skeptical or anything, but could you go over there and come through the wall this way, from the other side?
well, this is a left-handed wall, and I'm right-handed, but I'll give it a try.
Okay, good. I'll wait out here for about 5 minutes, and then if you're not through it, I'll get somebody from the Wall Scrapers Union to pull you out, all right?
Okay. Now, it must be obvious to everyone watching tonight that there are only 3 possible ways for me to get to the other side of this brick wall. I can go under it, I can go over it, or I can go around it. I want to prove to you that I can't go under the wall. So I'm going to be standing on this 18-inch high table. It's 18 inches off the ground. To prove to you that I can't go around the wall, we're raising a solid, 3-sided, transparent curtain. The curtain covers both the front and back approaches to the wall. If I were to try to go around either the front or the back, I'd have to step off the table and my feet would be clearly visible, and also I'd probably leave a visible tear right in the curtain. Now, if I were to attempt to go over the wall to that table that you're seeing on your screen right now, it's pretty high and I'd be in plain sight of everyone. In fact, the wall is 8 feet high, and even the world's greatest high jumper could do it. I'd probably kill myself. So that only leaves one way to get to the wall on the other side. To walk through the solid brick wall by magic. You're going to see my hands above this shade until the last moment before I go through the wall, and then you instantly see my hands on the other side of the wall. Watch now as I walk through a brick wall! Now! 1, 2, 3!
What else can I say? Doug is a really good example if you watch his stuff, even though it's very, dated in a sense. It's a really good example of how magic plays if you play, if you allow yourself to sort of remember how you felt and how it looked, and you got to sort of suspend disbelief, and Doug was good at that. It was obvious that he loved magic. Great magicians have that. Like my all-time favorite living magician, of course, is Mario Lopez. You can tell in his performances the same thing. And Copperfield, of course, Sly Dini, my favorite long past magician. Henning was just the epitome of a big kid coming alive in his performances. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.
This has been a magical evening for me in the truest sense of the word. There is real magic. It's all around us all the time. Magic is always and everywhere. And all you must do to experience it is open your mind and your heart. Then you can see the magic that life truly is. Before I go, I'd like to leave you all with a little gift to thank you for watching.